Listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you is the exact opposite of what 99% of men do. If she's pulling away, if she's replying late, if she seems cold, distant, or not the same anymore, most guys panic. They start double texting. They start over-explaining. They beg for attention. They block her to trigger a reaction, and every single one of those moves, they kill your attraction instantly. But today, I'm going to give you a text formula so powerful, so psychologically precise, that it can make a woman think about you nonstop, without blocking, without begging, without chasing. In fact, once you use it, she'll start wondering, wait, why am I suddenly missing him? Stay locked in, because the formula I'm about to reveal works instantly, and when done right, she feels it in her stomach. Welcome back to the channel, where we break down the psychology behind attraction, connection, and communication, so you can become the most confident, magnetic version of yourself. Today's topic is something every man needs to hear. No blocking, no begging, the text formula that makes her miss you instantly. This isn't manipulation, it's not games, it's understanding what actually triggers emotional impact in a woman's mind. I'm going to walk you through why men lose power through texting, what makes a woman suddenly start missing you, the exact formula to send, word for word, plus relatable examples and stories, so you know exactly how to use it. By the end of this video, you'll know the difference between a man she forgets and a man she can't stop replaying in her head. Let's get into it. Number 1. The silence shift. You want to know the biggest mistake men make when they feel a woman pulling away? They react, emotionally, instantly, desperately. She takes 6 hours to reply? He double texts. She says she's busy? He sends paragraphs. She stops showing interest. He starts proving his value. But here's the truth most men never learn. Women don't miss presence. They miss contrast. They don't miss you because you text more. They miss you when something in your energy changes. And this leads to the first part of the formula. 1. The silence shift. Psychological trigger number 1. This isn't no contact. This isn't ghosting. And it's definitely not the toxic block her to get a reaction move. This is something far more subtle and far more effective. Here's how it works. The moment you feel her pulling away, you stop rewarding distance with attention. You keep the conversation alive, but you remove the emotional urgency from your replies. You don't disappear. You just stop over-engaging. Example, she replies dry, okay, haha, IDK, maybe. Most men panic. Instead, you shift gears. You reply later, a little shorter, a little calmer, a little more grounded. Suddenly, something in her brain says, wait, he's not chasing me? Why isn't he trying harder? Did the energy shift? She starts thinking about you, not because you vanished, but because her pattern changed. Humans notice change more than consistency, and women feel emotional change instantly. Why this works? Quick psychology. Women are more emotionally intuitive than men. They pick up shifts in tone, speed, interest, energy. So when you calmly pull back just a little, she starts replaying old texts. She compares your old energy versus the new one. She becomes aware of the connection again, and that awareness is the seed of missing you. It's the first step, before the actual text formula you'll send later. But this shift is important because you can't make her miss you if you're always emotionally available. And this small adjustment, the silence shift, is where the missing begins. Number 2, the value spike message. If the silence shift creates the space for her to feel something, then the next step is what actually makes that feeling intensify. This is where most men mess up, but you're not going to. 2. The value spike. Psychological trigger number 2. Here's a fact. A woman doesn't miss a man because he's gone. She misses him when she feels like she's no longer the center of his world. That's when her curiosity kicks in. That's when her ego wakes up. That's when her emotions start to swirl. But instead of posting forced, look how happy I am stories, or pretending to be unbothered. You're going to use something far more powerful. The value spike message. No, this isn't bragging. It's not flexing. It's not, look at my awesome life. It's a simple, subtle line that makes a woman think, wait, he's actually doing well without me? What changed? Why does this feel different? Here's how it works. After the silence shift, a few hours or half a day later, you send one text. Short, casual, and emotionally neutral. Something like, today turned out better than I expected. Just wrapped up something I've been putting off. Feels good. Randomly had one of the most productive days ever, LOL. Finally made a decision I'd been avoiding. These are not bragging statements. They don't scream, look at me. They quietly signal, you're improving, you're focused, your energy is rising, you are moving forward. And here's the psychological punch. When a woman senses emotional growth in a man she pulled away from, her brain automatically reassesses his value. She pauses. She rethinks. She pays attention. Because now, she feels like she's losing something she once had easy access to. This is when missing you starts to build momentum. Why it works, the emotional logic. Women are deeply attracted to progress, not perfection, not money, not status. Progress, movement, momentum. When she sees you leveling up, calmly, quietly, confidently, it triggers admiration and curiosity. And curiosity is the doorway to missing. What most men do instead, don't do this. Sending emotional paragraphs, asking, are you okay? Trying to fix the vibe, acting cold or rude, posting forced, look at me having fun, selfies. These scream insecurity. The value spike? It whispers confidence, and whispers are more powerful than shouting. Point number 3. The emotional trigger line. Now that you've created space with the silence shift and raised your perceived value with the value spike, it's time for the part that actually makes her feel you again. Because listen, women don't miss you because of your absence. They miss you because of the emotion you made them feel. And this next step is what activates that emotion instantly. Third, the emotional trigger line. Psychological trigger number 3. This isn't a flirty message. This isn't a pickup line. This isn't a hey stranger text. This is a line designed to remind her of your emotional presence. Without chasing her at all. It's gentle. It's grounded. It's confident. And it taps directly into the emotional part of her brain where connection lives. Here's the formula. A good emotional trigger line must include a subtle reminder of your vibe. Zero pressure. Something that sparks a memory or curiosity. Examples. Had a random moment today that low-key reminded me of your sarcasm. Just realized you were right about that thing you said. Ran into something and it made me think of that weird conversation we had. Your phrase popped into my head today, not sure why. These are powerful because they don't ask for anything. They don't chase. They don't put emotional pressure on her. They don't imply you're trying to rekindle something, but they do make her feel something. And emotion is what triggers missing. Not logic, not chasing, not games. Why this works, the neuroscience. When you mention a shared moment or a personality trait, her brain automatically reactivates the emotional memory associated with you. This fires up the part of her mind that processes nostalgia and attachment. Even if she tries to stay distant, she'll feel a warm little spark, something familiar. That spark? That's the beginning of, I kinda miss him. And here's the best part. She'll feel this without you trying to get her back. It happens naturally. Why most men never succeed here, most men send, can we talk? Do you miss me? Did I do something? I feel like you're distant. Or worse, nothing at all and just vanish. These kill attraction. But a small, lightly emotional, pressure-free message? It's irresistible. Because it's safe, familiar, and low-key flattering. She feels remembered but not chased. And that's exactly what makes her miss you. Point number 4. The not-so-available energy. At this point, you've shifted the energy. You've raised your value. You've triggered an emotional memory. Now you need the final ingredient that makes her miss you instantly and intensely. Not by ignoring her, not by being rude, but by giving off a very specific emotional vibe. 4. The not-so-available energy, psychological trigger number 4. This is where most men destroy all the progress they made. The moment she responds a little warmly, the moment she sends something cute, the moment she gives a tiny bit of attention, they jump on it. Suddenly they're replying instantly. Suddenly they're pouring energy again. Suddenly they're emotionally available 24/7. And guess what? She instantly feels, oh, he's still right there. No urgency, no mystery, no shift. Her mind relaxes, and the feeling of missing you disappears. So here's what you do instead. You stay warm, but slightly out of reach, not cold, not distant, not detached, just gracefully busy. What this looks like in action, she texts, "LOL, that actually is funny." Most guys reply in 4 seconds. You? You reply naturally, calmly, after a healthy delay. She says, "Haha, I do remember that conversation." Most guys, right? And also, do you remember? You? Send a short, positive, calm reply. Then let the conversation float a little. She asks, "What decision did you finally make?" Most guys send paragraphs. You? Honestly? Something that just needed to be done. LOL. Mystery, calmness, controlled energy. You're present, but not available on command. And that is what creates emotional pull. Why this works: women are drawn to men who are grounded, focused, centered in motion, not desperate for attention. When you're a little harder to access, naturally, not manipulatively, her brain starts chasing the emotional consistency you used to give her. She starts wondering, what's he doing? Who is he becoming? Why does he feel different? Why do I actually want to talk more? This is not you playing a game. This is you shifting into a healthier masculine frame. The psychological truth: women don't miss men who give unlimited access. They miss men who make them feel something and stay slightly out of reach. This creates emotional tension, and emotional tension creates longing, and longing creates missing. Point number 5. The pullback reward message. This is the final part of the formula, the moment that makes her miss you instantly, because it gives her something she didn't expect, your attention, but in a way that feels earned, not given. 5. The pullback reward message, psychological trigger number 5. Now listen closely, because this is where the magic happens. After you've been calm, slightly unavailable, confident, emotionally grounded, she will give you a signal. It could be small: a longer reply, a question, a voice note, a playful message, a joke, a check-in. How was your day? When she gives any sign of re-engagement, that's your moment. Not to chase, not to get emotional, not to overplay it, but to reward the pullback with one simple type of message. A warm but concise response that shows masculine confidence. Something like, "I like this version of you. You're actually funny when you want to be LOL. You know, it's always nice hearing from you. You have good timing today. Haha. You just made my evening a little better NGL." These messages are light, positive, warm, confident, masculine. And here's the psychological twist: you're giving her emotional reward, but only after she initiates connection. This subtly tells her subconscious, when I show interest, I get a good feeling. When I pull back, he doesn't chase. When I return, he responds warmly. This instantly builds a positive emotional loop, and that loop is what makes her miss you more and more each time you're not around. Why this works so powerfully? Women are emotional responders. They react to the energy you give them, not the words. When she feels, you're not desperate, you're not angry, you're not spiteful, you're not feeling rejected, you're simply grounded and selective. That is magnetic to the feminine. She realizes, I can't control him. He's not chasing me. He's not trying too hard. He treats me well when I show interest. That's when missing you hits fast and hard. Most men do the opposite. They reward distance. They chase when she pulls back. They overgive when she's cold. They become cold when she warms up. They turn the whole vibe into a power struggle. But you're doing the exact opposite, which flips the emotional dynamic instantly. And this is the moment she starts thinking, I want more of this man. So let's make something crystal clear. You don't need to beg. You don't need to block. You don't need to chase, overtext, or force anything. When you understand psychology, when you move with intention instead of emotion, when you communicate with calm, masculine confidence, you don't have to make her miss you. She just naturally does. Because the truth is, attraction isn't built through pressure. It's built through presence. It's built through mystery. It's built through emotional impact. And now, you know exactly how to create that impact instantly. Use the silent shift. Use the value spike. Use the emotional trigger line. Use the pullback reward and watch the dynamic flip in your favor. Fast. If you found this video helpful, make sure you hit that like button because it tells YouTube this content is worth sharing. And if you want more videos on texting psychology, attraction, and understanding the female mind on a deeper level, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the upcoming game-changing content. What's the one texting mistake you've made before that you'll never repeat again? Drop your answer below. I read every single comment. And in the next video, I'm breaking down the 3 texts that make you look instantly confident, even if you're not. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one.